Hello friends, I am back with yet another interesting video. In today's video, you will be learning about the complex variable and complex function. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first we will see the introduction to complex number. Complex number are the extension of the real number obtained by introducing an imaginary unit I, where I square is equals to minus 1 and I can be written as square root of minus 1. Now in mathematics, as we know that in normal number system, we cannot square the negative number or we cannot write the square root of a negative number. But in complex number system, we can do so. Okay. So the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division are applicable on complex number. In negative, real number is obtained by squaring a complex number. In negative, real number is obtained by squaring a complex number. Example, this is the complex number I, and squaring it we will get a negative real number, that is minus 1. Okay. With a complex number, it is always possible to find the solution to polynomial equations of degree more than 1. Okay. So this is the use of the complex number. So now we will see the applications of the complex number. That is, they are used in the following areas, means first is the control theory, second is the signal analysis, third is the quantum mechanics, and so on. So these are the field where commonly the complex number concept is used. Okay. So now we will see the complex number is represented by what. Okay. So complex number is an order pair xy of a real number x and y. So complex number can be written as z equals to x plus iy. Okay. Always remember, whenever in this module I mentioned that write z, then you have to write this z is equals to x plus iy. Okay. Where x is the real part and y is an imaginary part. So the real part is represented on the real axis. Let's say x and y are the coordinate system. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So real part of the complex number is always represented on the real axis, that is the x-axis, and the imaginary part of the complex number is always represented on the imaginary axis, that is the y-axis. Okay. Remember this. Now we will see the differentiability of the complex number. Differentiability of the complex number. So if f of z is equals to u plus iv, where u is the real part and v is the imaginary part. That is, if f of z is equals to u plus iv, then the definition by using the definition of differentiability, we can write f dash z is equals to limit z tends to 0, delta z tends to 0, f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 into f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z. So by using the definition of differentiability, we can write f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0, f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z, where now only I had told that whenever we will tell that z is equals to what, then we will write z is equals to x plus iy, and always write f of z as u plus iv. Okay, always write f of z as the u plus iv. Okay, and delta z can be written as delta x plus I delta y. So now substituting this z and delta z in the above equation, we will get the value. Okay, so we will see an example for the use of this definition of differentiability. Okay, so question: prove that f of z is equals to z square, where f dash z is equals to 2z. Okay, prove that f dash z is equals to 2z when it is given that f of z is equals to z square. Okay. Now here it is not mentioned that at which point we have to differentiate the function f of z. So whenever it is not mentioned any point that is at where we have to differentiate, then we have the hint that we can use the differentiation by the definition formula. Okay, so by definition of differentiability, we can write f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z. So we have f of z as f of z equals to z square. Okay, so f of z plus delta z will be what? Just we have to write z plus delta z in place of this z. So z plus delta z the whole square. Okay, and we will substitute the value. So f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 f of z plus delta z is z plus delta z the whole square minus what is f of z, that is z square upon delta z as it is. So it is equals to limit delta z tends to 0. So now by opening the bracket, z square plus delta z the whole square plus 2z delta z minus z square upon delta z. So now this minus z square and positive z square, that is plus z square, gets cancelled. We can write limit delta z tends to 0 delta z the whole square plus 2z into delta z. So by taking delta z as common from numerator, we get limit delta z tends to 0 delta z into delta z plus 2z upon delta z. So this delta z and this delta z gets cancelled. We will get limit delta z tends to 0 delta z plus 2z. So now as the denominator is free from the 0, we can apply the limit. So f dash z is equals to 0 plus 2z. So f dash z is equals to 2z. So we had proved. So it was the question that prove that f dash z is equals to 2z if f of z is equals to z square. So here as the point is not mentioned, that is at which point we have to differentiate this f of z. So by using the definition of differentiability, that is f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z, and by putting the value of f of z plus delta z and f of z, we got f dash z is equals to 2z. So I will give the hint, that is whenever in question it is not mentioned at which point we have to differentiate the function, then always use the differentiability by the definition method. Okay, so next question. Okay, we will move towards the next question. That is, question is prove that or show that. Okay, show that f of z equals to z bar is not differentiable. Okay, is not differentiable. Show that f of z is equals to z bar is not differentiable. So now we will move towards the solution. That is, solution is, here it is given that f of z equals to z bar. Now as we know that z is equals to x plus iy. Okay, and z bar can be written as x minus iy. So here also it is not mentioned that at which point we have to prove that the function f of z is equals to z bar is not differentiable. So we can use the definition formula for differentiable. So by definition of differentiability we can write f dash z is equals to limit delta z tends to 0 f of z plus delta z minus f of z upon delta z. So what is f of z? F of z is the z bar. So f of z plus delta z will be what? It will be z plus delta z the whole bar. Okay, Now as we know that a plus b the whole bar is equals to a bar plus b bar. Okay, this will be used. So which is equals to limit delta z tends to 0. So f of z plus delta z is the z plus delta z the whole bar minus z bar upon delta z. So limit delta z tends to 0. So this is what? Z plus delta z bar plus delta z bar minus z bar. How this came? That is, as we know that a plus b the whole bar is equals to a bar plus b bar. So same, z plus delta z the whole bar is equals to z bar plus delta z bar. Okay, upon delta z. So this minus z bar and positive z bar, that is plus z bar, gets cancelled. We will get limit delta z tends to 0 delta z bar upon delta z. Okay, now as we know that z is equals to x plus iy, that is z equals to x plus iy. Okay, now when x is 0 and y is 0, then only z is equals to 0. That means what is the meaning of this limit? That is limit delta z tends to 0, means here delta x tends to 0 and also the delta y tends to 0, because z is equals to x plus iy. So for z tends to 0, x and y tends to 0, then only delta z tends to 0. So now converting this delta z bar and delta z into x and y terms, we will get what is delta z bar? Delta z bar will be delta x minus I delta y. And what is delta z? That is delta x plus I delta y. Okay, so now by using the path method, we can further solve. Okay, so first along the x-axis, now as we know on the x-axis the y coordinate is 0, so we can take delta y tends to 0 or equals to 0. So limit delta x tends to 0, delta x minus I into 0 upon delta x plus I into 0, because we had taken along x-axis, so delta y will be 0. So it is equals to limit delta x tends to 0 delta x upon delta x, so which is equals to limit delta x tends to 0, here 1. So so here we got the constant term, so limit of the constant term will be constant, so it is equals to 1. So we had obtained the first equation. Now by path method we will move towards the second case, that is along y-axis. Now along y-axis delta x will always be 0, because on y-axis the x component or the x term is 0. So limit delta y tends to 0, here delta x is 0, so 0 minus I into delta y upon 0 plus I into delta y, which is equals to limit delta y tends to 0, it is minus I into delta y upon plus I into delta y. So this minus plus will be minus, and this got cancelled, so we will get limit delta y tends to 0 is equals to minus 1. So by applying limit, as it is constant, so we will get the constant term there as minus 1. So this is the 2. Therefore from equation 1 and 2 we can say that limit of the given function not exist, so the function, that is f of z is equals to z bar, is not differentiable, hence proved. Okay, so I will give a homework question, that is prove f of z is equals to e raised to z is differentiable everywhere, Okay, I will give the solution for this sum in the next video, but I want you to solve this sum. Okay, so in next video we will be learning about the Cauchy-Riemann equation and some problems on the Cauchy-Riemann equation topic. Okay, so I hope you understood this topic. If you had any doubts, please ask me in the comment section. Please subscribe my channel for more interesting videos like this. Please share and subscribe. Thank you.